Welcome, everyone. It's time to start our service. So thank you. Good morning. My name is Janet Hoffman, and I am the worship associate for today. It is wonderful to see all of you here on this brand new morning, despite the rain. And we are thankful that you are here, whether you are in the sanctuary, out on the pavilion, or with Facebook now or later. Thank you for joining us. You are welcome just as you are. We are one people of many beliefs, lifestyles, identities, and backgrounds. We are all growing, learning, and all loved. We try, both inside and outside of these walls, to live our faith's values: transformation and justice, plurality and equity, generosity and interdependence, all centered around love. I'd like to welcome any guests that we have today. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Please raise your hand if this is the first or second time that you have attended. No guests today. Okay. Just the hardcore here. Anyway, we are thankful for all of you. While our Reverend Tony Fisher is away in July, we have had the pleasure of welcoming guest service leaders. Today, I am excited and honored to introduce Lori Lyons, the director and founder of Zen and the Arts. This nonprofit brings together meditation and creative arts, providing a creative and profound experience. As a Buddhist sensei, Lori shares stories and her insights on Zen Buddhism. She is not only a spiritual leader, she also teaches piano and has been an orchestral musician for over 20 years. And now I would like to announce that there will be a coffee house in Thomas Hall on Wednesday at 6:30. And Frank would like to meet anyone going to the movie and or dining today after the service out on the pavilion. And Sol and Maleda were to come from Immokalee. Are they here? I wanted to make sure I didn't miss them. Okay, there's a special event that needs our support out in Immokalee in August, and hopefully we will hear more of that later. So thanks again for joining us for the service. Let's begin by taking a deep breath and settling in for this morning's service by listening to the prelude. Is Sol and Maleda here? Would you come on up? So they did make it? Great. So they have a few words to share about their special event.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sol Reyes. I'm from Immokalee, Florida, a part of a group called Students Advocating for Change. And these are my fellow executive members on the board of Students Advocating for Change. I'm going to give them some time to introduce themselves.
Go ahead.
Hi guys, my name is Maleda Lopez Figueroa.
Hello, my name is Stormer Paulo Ortiz.
And today we're here to speak a little bit more about an event that's upcoming this August 22nd in Immokalee, Florida at Roberts Ranch Museum. We're hosting a festival. It's called Nuestra Tierra Festival, Our Land Festival. And our pillars are celebration and consciousness. For us, our organization focuses on student-led advocacy and awareness towards community issues. And what we've seen this past year under this recent administration is our community has been targeted a lot. Actually, these past 2 recent days, we've seen events and attacks from as early as 5 in the morning. Actually, my mom was up at 5 in the morning this morning, going out and observing and trying to just spread the awareness about what was happening to our community members that were going to work. And this has been continuously happening for this past year and a half. And it really leaves our community members feeling feeling uncertain about what's going to happen in the future. And for us as youth, we've seen personally how it affects others. It affects others our age. And so we wanted to create a group that is focused on addressing these issues and creating community. And this most recent kind of project that we're hosting in Immokalee, Florida is the festival. And it's from 2 to 10 p.m. and it's going to be featuring workshops with voter registration, as well as just organizing 101 workshops and a year in reflection, and really taking in the knowledge of what we have done as students with like research, but also just the personal experiences and being able to share that. And then later on towards the night, we're going to have music, food, vendors, and everything like that. And yeah, so just wanted to share a little bit about what we're going to be doing this upcoming August, and we're looking for support in any capacity, whether it be through mentorship or through monetary means. And my fellow members are going to share a little bit more about their perspective and why they wanted to plug in with Students Advocating for Change in this festival. Thank you.
Thank you. So my family has been personally affected by immigration. You always hear about it on the news, but you never really expect for it to happen to you. So these past couple of months, there was this instance where I was at a club after school, and then I got a phone call from my sister. She was scared. They were in hiding, basically, and she said, "Can you come home, please? Immigration's at the door." My sister is 10 years old. She did not know what was going on, but she was scared. So I ended up calling some people. I ended up calling Sol, and people went over to the house. And to this day, my sisters are still scared of any police officers on the streets. The police officer passes by, they see them, my sisters run inside. My youngest sister, she's 3 years old. When anyone knocks on the door, she runs away. That's how scared she is. And that's the way most people are living nowadays. People are scared to go outside. People are scared to even talk to any police officers. And it's not right. Kids don't understand what's going on. They don't understand that their parents are being taken away. So, yeah, that's my experience.
So me personally, I've not had a personal run-in with any ICE agents or anything like that, but I've had multiple friends that I've been friends with for a long time, and just have run-ins with them and stuff happen to them due to ICE and the raids and stuff. And I have friends who had to quit electives or extracurriculars that are outside of school because either their parents have been taken or their parents are just scared to go out, and so they have to go get a job, or they just have to take care of their family. And it's really heartbreaking to see your friends who you laugh around with, you joke around with, you hang out with, just be so scared and have to step up into that role because of the fear that ICE puts on their families. And this festival is just a really great opportunity to, put some more hope or joy into the community and bring together a place where people can come, just enjoy food, share memories, and just have a good time in general. So, there you go.
And we're here again, just sharing these stories of personal experiences and what goes on in these communities. And, it's been happening here in Naples and in Fort Myers area, and it's not something that's going away, like what we hope for it to happen. But, as we move closer towards like November and midterms and everything like that, we want to continue as youth to share our perspective to people of all ages, and show them that these things are still happening, these injustices are still taking place in smaller communities and bigger communities, and we can only continue to keep on moving forward and not losing hope. So we hope to see you all maybe at the festival August 22nd in Immokalee, Florida, or in any capacity. Thank you guys for having us, and it was a joy being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. I need to take a couple deep breaths, and you might too. Through life, we are seekers. We seek the truth and to discover meaning in our lives. Sometimes we think we've found it all. Ideas can be attractive and contagious. Having all the answers is satisfying. But truth has a way of coming in disguise and in changing. Sometimes it wears rags, and sometimes finery. And at times, it is not in our immediate sight. Sometimes that which we have rejected can be our teacher. As Unitarian Universalists, we view truth as ongoing, ever-evolving, and a deeply personal journey. As our understanding expands, what is held to be true today may grow and adapt tomorrow. Let our time in this service be an acknowledgement of the never-ending journey toward truth and meaning, and may we appreciate those we learn along the way. So please join me now in the chalice lighting response, which is in your order of service bulletin and on the screen. As our chalice is lit, we pause the busyness of our lives to turn our attention inward. Let the flame remind us of the quiet spark that lives inside each of us. May this light guide us to pay attention to our own truths, our quiet wisdom, and the love we carry into the world. Thank you, Sherry. Okay, let's rise in body or spirit to sing hymn number 347 in the gray hymnal, Gather the Spirit, and the words will also be on the screen.
Harvest the power, our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind. most refined. Gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Sean and Abby. And I just want to take a quick moment to express my gratitude for this community. Reverend Tony Fisher is a personal hero of mine. I don't believe I've actually said that to his face. I wonder if I would be too shy to say that if he was actually here. But I just really appreciate what he's built here, the community he's built, and all the social engagement that he's committed to. He just does really wonderful work in the community. And I just want to thank all of you for being so welcoming each time I visit. I just feel a lovely warmth, and I'm really grateful to Sean and Abby for what they offer here. And I'm really grateful to Janet for her help in preparing for this service, and I know she does a lot for this community as well. And a quick shout out to Dan, who maybe sometimes gets forgotten back there. Thank you so much, Dan. Let's hear it for Dan. Okay. Okay, so let's begin. A long, long time ago, a king was feeling bored and mischievous. He devised a wonderful plan. He summoned 5 blind men to the palace and brought them to the courtyard where he kept his great pet elephant. Blind from birth, these men had never seen or even heard of such a beast. The king said to them, "This is an elephant. Please go learn all about it." And the blind men, curious to learn and eager to please their king, began to run their hands over the animal. After some time, the king summoned all his people to the palace, brought the blind men forward, and said, "You have met this elephant. Please tell the people, what is an elephant like?" The first blind man who had touched the elephant's trunk said, "An elephant is like a big snake." The second, who had touched the ear, said, "An elephant is like a fan." The third, who touched the elephant's leg, said, "No, an elephant is like a tree trunk." The fourth, who had touched the elephant's body, said, "No, an elephant's like a wall." And the fifth, who had touched the tail, getting more and more confused and aggravated, said, "You idiots, an elephant is like a rope." The men got so worked up, each convinced that he alone touched the true elephants. They could not come to an agreement, and the affair came to blows. Some of the people took sides, and they began to fight as well. The chaos grew and grew, and nobody knew what a true elephant was, and they even forgot what they were fighting about. And the king was delighted. So please remain seated and join in singing our centered hymn. This is number 86 in the gray hymnal, "Blessed Spirit of My Life." The words will also be on the screen.
Blessed Spirit of my life, give me strength through stress and strife. Help me live with dignity. Let me know serenity. Fill me with a vision let peace find a home in me. Spirit of great mystery, hear the still small voice in me. Help me live my wordless creed as I comfort those in need. Fill me with compassion, be the source of my intuition. Then when life is done for me, let love be my legacy.
Joys and sorrows. Joys and sorrows are a sacred time to share what is in our hearts. This sharing of joys, sorrows, gratitudes, and milestones is one way we practice supporting each other in community. We speak what is in our hearts briefly in a short time so that anyone that wants to will feel comfortable taking a turn. It is not a time for announcements or political comments, as one of our values is plurality. Please raise your hand if you wish to share your heart's words, and I will bring you the mic. Please hold the mic closely to your mouth and say your name. Okay.
I am Skip Lundborg, and I have a wonderful joy for all of you and for myself as well. On behalf of the membership committee, I want to recognize Anne and Charles Anderson. Will you stand? These are our newest members. Please welcome.
Thank you. Wonderful to recognize them.
Hi, this is Bill McCormick with Emerson Academy. I just had a joy this morning and heard two of our Emerson Academy students speak. We're going to try to get out there to the big event. But both of these students are going to college on full rides. Maleta is going to Wesleyan University. I might mention a full ride to Wesleyan is worth $400,000. And Saul is going to one of my favorite schools, the University of Chicago, on a full ride. And I hope they'll come visit us on Alumni Day on Thursday. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Diane Rahman, and I want to say I've done something today I've never done before. A bolt of lightning came down in my yard, and I just elevated right off the bed. I just lifted right up, and then I surrendered back to the bed.
Glad you're here.
Yeah.
Okay. These joys and sorrows, whether spoken or unspoken, weave us together in the fabric of community. May we hold them in our hearts.
few minutes here to have us all settle into a brief guided meditation. So you're welcome to just take a comfortable seat. For a Zen person, the posture that we hold our body in meditation really has a profound impact on the state of our mind. So as much symmetry as you can find here and as much ease in your body as you can find, you're welcome to close your eyes or keep your eyes open. But can you begin by just feeling the weight of your body settling into the chair? And can you connect to that feeling of stillness and stability? And just notice how you're arriving this morning. Any subtle emotional quality or any thoughts that might be running around in your mind. And all of that is welcome. But just knowing what's happening inside of you right now. And then connecting to your breath. And there's nothing special you have to do with your breath, but just knowing this miracle of breath that's always happening. And a quick scan of your body just to notice if there's any tension that doesn't really need to be there right now. Can you soften your shoulders? Release any tension or restlessness in your arms and hands. Let your legs become still and heavy. And now, scanning deeply and intuitively around in your torso, can you identify something you would call the seat of truth? Some sort of inner teacher or inner wisdom that's built into who you are. And this is not an exercise in thinking or analysis. This is more intuitive, just feeling into your body. And you might even locate a subtle sensation in your belly or in your chest. Just getting to know that seat of inner truth, how that feels for you. Now can you begin to extend your awareness to the space around you? And notice how your breath moves in and out, connecting you to the people around you. And can you sense the subtle feeling of sharing space and sharing this experience with other people? And now turning towards sounds. The intimacy of each gentle vibration coming to your ear and entering your awareness. And in meditation, there's no need to label each sound, to give it a name, or to judge it in any way. Simply receive. With a still and relaxed body, simply receiving. And now, as we receive this musical offering, can you invite in a deeper intimacy with just this moment? There's no space or no need for anything else, just receiving this musical offering.
This is a Zen koan from the Gateless Gate. Tokusen visited Zen master Ryuten and asked questions far into the night. At last, Ryuten said, "The night is late. Why don't you retire?" Tokusen made his bows and began to withdraw, but he was met by darkness. Turning back to his teacher, he said, "It is dark outside." Ryuten lit a paper candle and handed it to him. Just as Tokusen was about to take the candle, Ryuten blew it out. At this, all of a sudden, Tokusen experienced a deep awakening in the dark and bowed to his teacher. The next day, Tokusen brought his sutra notes to the front of the hall, pointed to them, and said, "Even though you have exhausted the doctrines, it is like placing a hair in a vast space. Even though you have learned all the secrets of the world, it is like a drop of water dripped in the great ocean." And he burned all his notes. Then, making bows, he took his leave.
I'd like to begin by saying a few words about this story that Janet just shared with you. This is a Zen story from ancient China. And in this story, this student is seeking answers. So the story goes to meet the teacher, and there's an exchange of information late into the night. The student has received presumably some wisdom and some knowledge from the teacher, but then the student is asked to take this knowledge out into a dark world. And the teacher brilliantly gives him a lit candle. I'm just imagining this chalice here. So it gives him a light, which is, representing the teachings he's just received. So he gives him this lit candle to go out into the dark world. And just as the student receives the candle, the teacher blows it out. So Zen has a sense of humor. I hope you find a little bit of humor in this. And I recently heard a Zen teacher that I really respect, say that Zen doesn't answer your questions, Zen questions your answers. And I really liked that. I think I'm going to kind of steal that from him. And that's really my intention today, not to answer any questions about AI or the digital world, but to question your answers. So the next day, this student, Toku-san, burns all his notes. He's realized something when the teacher blows out the candle. So he's accumulated all this wisdom, and like a good student, he's probably written a lot of things down, trying to sort of grasp hold of it or use it forever and ever. So this is like everything you've ever learned, all the information you could possibly absorb over a lifetime of deep study is like a drop in the ocean. And we know this. We know how limited our capacity to know is. And he burns all these notes. So is he saying that all these years of study have been useless? Or is there something more subtle going on? If he's deciding he can't use everything he's learned anymore, what does he have to rely on now? And if his teacher's light is of no use, now what? So these are some of the questions that arise for me when I'm considering a story like this. I want to say a word about the original spark of inspiration for this talk. So several weeks ago, I was reading the New York Times and encountered an article about this man named Hany Farid. And Hany Farid is the world's leading expert on distinguishing deepfakes from reality. So the title of this article, in case you want to look it up, is "The World's Leading Deepfake Expert No Longer Trusts His Own Eyes." Isn't that wild? So Farid has made a career of distinguishing reality from deepfakes for 60 years. He's fielded requests from governments, human rights organizations, journalists, law enforcement, and thousands of others who are deceived by the online world. Just a few of the kinds of questions people send him. Was that really President Joe Biden calling thousands of Democratic voters the day before the New Hampshire primary and telling them not to vote? Was that really President Trump tossing bags of garbage out of a window at the White House? Was that really Tom Hanks advertising an obscure dental plan to his fans? Was that the CEO on the Zoom call asking for a wire transfer of $25 million or an impersonator? Was that a real gun in Alex Preddy's hand or just a shadow? Farid's own research has proven that most people can no longer distinguish a real photograph from a digital creation, a real voice from an AI clone, or a real video clip from a fabrication. And the most alarming thing, lately he's failing his own tests. All the tools and technology he's developed over these years are becoming obsolete. So while I was searching online for insight into this topic, I stumbled upon a teacher I'd never encountered before, and I'd really like to introduce you to this new spiritual teacher named Young Moon. Young Moon's teachings combine ancient Eastern wisdom with simple modern practices, helping millions of people reduce stress, find clarity, and reconnect with their inner peace. Let's watch this short video of Young Moon.
If you are going to overthink, then overthink the positives. Overthink the best outcome. Overthink how good this life could be. Overthink how peaceful it would feel if things slowly, quietly worked out. Because the mind has a habit, it leans toward fear. It replays the past. It worries about a future that hasn't arrived. We imagine the worst-case scenario. We revisit old mistakes. We carry tomorrow's weight before it is real. But what if the mind is gently turned in another direction? Let this be the intention for 2026.
Do we like Young Moon? Guess what? Young Moon is AI. So Young Moon does not exist, not a real person. Very convincing, right? so you may have been fooled by him. And Young Moon is very popular. He has 2.5 million followers on Instagram. And I don't know what percentage of those 2.5 million followers know that he's AI, but there are articles proving that he's AI. So I did not come to that conclusion on my own. I was convinced just as quickly as you were convinced. So on his website, it claims Young Moon is a real person, a teacher whose voice is translated using AI tools because English is not his native language. So if you really pay attention to his videos, you can see something looks a little off about his mouth, but they would make the argument, well, he doesn't speak English, so we're just using AI to translate. But if you try to learn more about him, you'll find no interviews, no biography, no lineage, no location, no verifiable history. But what you will find is a 30-day online course on sale for the bargain price of $49, and 2 books for sale. So I'm not here to comment on, I don't really want to get into the ethics of something like this. I kind of feel like if people are finding benefit and nourishment in something that's not real, then have at it. And I don't know how I feel about all this. But in this digital age, we know the benefits. We have this great feeling of vast connection and access to information and people and teachings and resources, and there's a tremendous value in this. But even at its best, there's always a thin film or a veil or some sort of barrier between me and that world on the other side of the screen. This is kind of like the blind man touching the elephant. How can we really touch the elephant through a screen? And how can countless people touch the elephant through a screen and agree on what that elephant actually is? And to complicate that problem even more, AI is creating its own new version of the elephant, a completely digital beast that could have power over all of us blind men in ways that we can't begin to understand. So as I said earlier, Zen doesn't answer questions, it questions your answers, but it can offer some practical advice. It can ask us to see through the confusion and engage intimately with the real world. We can remember the world of the senses and what it is to have a human body and heart. So I'm going to list a few things, and these are just sort of simple Zen nuggets of advice or practicality, things that are like very simple suggestions about how we can connect more to the real world around us in a way that will resource us to be intuitive about identifying truth when we see it and identifying falsity when we see it. So I'll list several things, and as you listen to this list, I'll ask you, and I won't be here to follow up next week, but oftentimes with my Zen group, I give them Zen homework, and they're accountable to this. So I'll give you some Zen homework for the week, and you won't be accountable to me, but maybe you'll be accountable to your friend or partner or just yourself. So some things you might try. A digital diet. Has anybody ever tried this? Just a break from the digital world. I do this quite frequently, and it's incredibly healing and revelatory. So this will look different for everybody. For me, it can just be one day where I don't touch a device. No phones, no internet, no email. One day. It could be 2 or 3 days. It could be a day where you just decide you're not going to read the news. So some sort of digital diet, something that makes sense for you. Something that's a little bit challenging, but not too challenging. Here's another thing you might consider. When you have an impulse to check your email for the 5th time in one day, raise your hand if you're that person. I'm that person. Instead, pick up a book. Pick up a book. When you find yourself mindlessly scrolling, can you pause, take a breath, and feel your feet on the ground? Print out an article rather than read it on your screen. Resist the urge to look it up online. So if you're questioning what is that song, or what is that plant, or what is that animal. Look it up in a book or ask a person. Call a friend that you think might know. Let it lead to a conversation and some sort of connection. Here's a crazy idea. Go to the store to buy things. Go to the store and make eye contact with the cashier. Get out into nature. And this time of year, I'm very guilty of this. It's so hard this time of year to get outside. But get outside even for 5 minutes to feel your feet on the grass, look at the sky, touch a plant, find something green or something alive to bring back inside your air-conditioned house with you. Interact with real humans, your pet, backyard birds and critters. So all of these things are to encourage you to find an intimacy with your life as it is, the simplest of things, tasting food, feeling the water when you wash the dishes, increasing your sensitivity to the world around you, what you can directly experience and know to be true. AI is taking us on a journey with an unknown destination. We may have some ideas about why this is happening and what could happen, what the purpose of this journey with AI could be, but ultimately we're in the dark. Zen never asks us to predict the future. It only asks us to enter this moment fully and be intimate with this not knowing. Living inside of this intimate not knowing, endless possibilities open to us. Whether this moment brings excitement, intrigue, or fear and anxiety, that feeling is real, more real than what it's responding to. We can always trust the truth of that feeling. This is what it is to be human. So I'd like to finish with another just brief Zen story. This is called Not Knowing is Most Intimate. Not knowing is most intimate. Master Jizo asked Hogen, "Where are you going?" Hogen replied, "Around on pilgrimage." "What is the purpose of your pilgrimage?" asked Jizo. "I don't know," replied Hogen. Not knowing is most intimate, remarked the teacher. At that, Hogen experienced great enlightenment. Thank you.
Our weekly offering is an opportunity to make an expression of thanks for this congregation and all that it does for us. This act of giving shows a sense of reciprocity, that when we receive, we also give back freely in a way that we are able to. On the screen are 3 ways for those of you who are online to share your gratitude and generosity. When we give, we are saying yes to our UU values. We are grateful for your gifts, and we will use them to honor human wholeness and in the work we do towards our vision. The ushers may now come forward. Please rise in body or spirit and join us to sing hymn number 118 in the gray hymnal, This Little Light of Mine. The words will also be on the screen.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Go out into the world in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return to no person evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all beings. And thank you. Have a wonderful week.